In the future, Los Angeles hosts the deadly Great Lottery, the winner of which has to survive until nightfall. Of course, there's a catch. Anyone has the legal right to kill them and claim the prize. A crowd of people is chasing the latest winner of the deadly lottery. The man has to sprint for his life and fight off wave after wave of prize-hungry pursuers. Luckily for him, he's a fast runner and a good fighter. The man hides in the apartment of an old woman who insists she has no idea who he is. The lottery winner smashes her phone and begs for a painkiller. Instead of a pill, he gets a giant staple right in the middle of his forehead. More people burst into the house, furious that the prize slipped through their fingers and landed in the lap of an old lady. She's a millionaire now. Moments later, a SWAT team storms in. They confirm the lottery winner is dead and congratulate the old lady on hitting the jackpot. What a twist. We meet a girl named Katie Kim. She's just an ordinary, unknown actress who's come to Los Angeles to become a star. The news reports that tomorrow's jackpot in the deadly lottery will hit $3 billion. Katie stares out the window of the bus, watching the city life. She witnesses constant fights, crimes, and screaming matches on every corner. The protagonist is seeking a place to stay and ends up renting a small, cheap room from a cheerful girl named Shadi and her not-so-smart but equally ridiculous boyfriend, DJ. A flashy TV commercial introduces Noel Cassidy, a freelance lottery protection agent. Katie wakes up to something brown dripping onto her face. A nasty-smelling liquid is leaking from the ceiling, soaking her bed and clothes. Turns out the plumbing in the house is broken, and the brown goo is, well, unpleasant surprises from the upstairs toilet. Shadi offers to lend Katie some of her clothes, obviously not for free, but for $40. The main character agrees, as she has no other choice. Katie grabs a cab and heads to her first audition. When she arrives, the place is already full of beautiful girls who look just like Barbie. To take part in the casting, Katie has to pay another $400. During the audition, Katie shares that she used to be in commercials as a kid, but gave up acting to take care of her sick mom. While talking to the producer, she accidentally joins the deadly lottery. Unfortunately, the audition doesn't go well, and Katie gets rejected. Right then, a message pops up. She's won the jackpot in the grand lottery. Within seconds, the other aspiring actresses surround her and attack. Katie is attacked with fists, knives, and even the sharp heels of designer shoes. The protagonist tries to hide, but ends up in a martial arts dojo. Once again, she has to dodge and fight just to survive. The dojo's head trainer grabs Katie and slams her into a wall, sending her into the next room, where a peaceful yoga session is taking place. Naturally, another batch of prize hunters instantly gets into the fight. What saves Katie is that her attackers start brawling with each other too. Moments later, the strongest karate guy grabs her. It looks like Katie doesn't stand a chance of survival. But that's when Noel Cassidy shows up. Yeah, the lottery protection agent from the TV commercial. He knocks the karate guy out and offers Katie a deal. Protection in exchange for 10% of her jackpot. Katie still doesn't fully understand what's happening, but she signs the contract anyway. The man quickly takes down everyone going after Katie's jackpot and straps the girl to his back with a belt to protect her from the hungry crowd. When all the money-hungry maniacs are knocked out, the protagonist finally learns why everyone's been hunting her down. Noel and Katie escape in a car, trying to outrun an ever-growing crowd of pursuers. With every passing minute, more enemies join the chase. There's some good news. People aren't allowed to use firearms or kill anyone except the lottery winner. But here's the bad news. A drone flies overhead, broadcasting Katie's location every 14 minutes. By the way, people who hunt lottery winners are ironically called fans. A biker gang starts chasing Katie and Noel, eventually setting their car on fire. The main characters try to shake them off by hiding in a warehouse. But it's no easy task. Katie wants to quit the lottery. Well, that's technically possible, but only if she can reach a district called the Grapevine, located on the outskirts of the city. The reckless chase continues. Noel advises Katie to put on a helmet. One of the biker women jumps into their car and attacks Katie. Noel saves her again, Still, Katie is capable of defending herself. Their car is completely wrecked. They have to continue on foot. Katie doesn't trust Noel and even lashes out at him with her fists. Police appear on the street. Katie is relieved, thinking she's finally safe. But instead of helping, the cops rush at her. They want the $3 billion too. Noel saves the main character once again. While he's fighting off the cops, Katie tries to run away from him. However, the drone reveals her location to all the lottery participants. She runs into a museum. The security guard recognizes her, but decides to take pity on the poor girl and lets her hide inside the wax museum. Katie's phone rings. It's Shadi. The cunning girl finds out where the protagonist is hiding and immediately heads there with DJ. The security guard won't let them in, since 3 weeks ago they vandalized one of the exhibits. But Shadi knocks him out and forces her way inside. Katie is hiding among the wax figures, but Shadi and DJ quickly find her and attack. Katie fights back fiercely with a staff and throws wax figures at her attackers. In one of the rooms, Shadi and DJ find knives. The situation gets even more dangerous. Katie manages to escape, but then a tourist bus appears on her path, and all the passengers happen to be the lottery participants too. Once again, Noel saves the main character and drives away in a stolen police car. The tourists chase the protagonists, ramming their bus into the car. Noel says they need a bomb shelter, and Katie suddenly comes up with a plan. They arrive at the home of musician Machine Gun Kelly, threaten him, and hide from the crazed tourists in his bunker, which the artist calls his panic room. To stop Gun Kelly from revealing the bunker's access code to the fans, Katie shoots him with a tranquilizer dart. So, the protagonists are holed up in the shelter, and nothing threatens them, at least for now. Unfortunately, the peace doesn't last long. Shadi and DJ join the crazed tourists. The girl tries to revive Gun Kelly by dragging him into the pool and tossing him into the water. It works. Gun Kelly regains consciousness and gives Shadi the code to his panic room. The main characters are horrified. Noel is forced to contact the Lottery Protection Agency and reach out to his boss, Louis Lewis. Just before the jackpot-hungry fans break into the bunker, Lewis's team hacks and blows up their phones. Seizing the opportunity, Noel and Katie escape the panic room and rendezvous with Lewis's team. They're immediately taken to the safest place in Los Angeles. It's a gorgeous, high-tech complex, the headquarters of the Lottery Protection Agency, or simply LPA. Katie meets Louis Lewis, the head of the agency. He gifts her the trendiest phone on the market and shows her the wall of winners, with portraits of those who managed to stay alive. If Katie wants to survive too, LPA is ready to protect her. Obviously not for free. They'll take 30% of her jackpot. Katie agrees, but only on the condition that another 30% goes to Noel, since he was the first to save her. Lewis shows Katie footage from the security cameras. It looks like a crowd of fans is trying to break into the LPA facility. Doctors treat the wounds and bruises Katie sustained during her survival chase. Noel reveals that he and Lewis are the last surviving members of their mercenary team. Noel now uses his earnings from protecting lottery winners to support the families of his fallen comrades. Katie is offered a special device that can alter her appearance. She chooses to look like an Asian man with a mustache and beard. Noel begins to suspect that the LPA secretly eliminates its clients and takes their winnings. How else could they have so much money? They want to take Katie to the company's secret safe house. But why leave LPA's headquarters if it's the safest place around? That's highly suspicious. Seizing the moment, Katie knees Lewis in the groin, and Noel opens the armored door, letting a crowd of crazed fans flood the building. Thanks to her disguise, no one pays any attention to Katie. She steals a car and escapes from the LPA, while Noel stays behind to hold off Lewis's agents. Unfortunately, he's quickly captured. Katie speeds toward the grapevine, determined to officially withdraw from the game. Her phone rings. It's Lewis. He threatens to get rid of Noel if she doesn't return to the LPA. Katie immediately turns around and heads off to save her friend. They agree to meet at an abandoned theater. Lewis confesses to Noel that he was the one who eliminated the rest of their mercenary team to claim their shares of the money. Katie arrives at the theater. She demands that Lewis let Noel go, threatening to take her own life and leave everyone without the jackpot if he refuses. To prove she's serious, Katie starts a live stream on her phone. It instantly draws in all of her fans. Lewis promises to spare Noel, but Katie doesn't believe him. Seizing the moment, she knocks the villain out. Some viewers of the live stream quickly turn into real fans of Katie and even start rooting for her. But most of them are still dreaming about her jackpot, which means the protagonists are forced to keep fighting and running. Katie finds herself battling Lewis once more. At the same time, other money hunters rush in. Tied up Noel fights them off using his chair, while Lewis struggles to deal with Katie. Noel breaks free and hurries to save his friend. As he fights Lewis, Katie is attacked by the deranged Shadi. The main character defeats her rival, but then a whole crowd of fans bursts into the building. There are 4 minutes left until the lottery ends. Katie climbs to the top of the stage on the metal scaffolding. Noel does everything he can to save her, but Lewis's men help the villain reach the protagonist. Katie fights Lewis off and detonates the grenades in his pocket, but in doing so, she falls from a great height. The girl is caught by a crowd of her true fans, who arrive just in time, right as the lottery comes to an end. Katie and Noel celebrate their victory. She wants to give her loyal friend half of her jackpot. Katie is handed a check for $3 billion, and she walks off with Noel to grab some hot dogs. 6 months later, the main characters have used their jackpot to open their own protection agency, a fight club, a center for child protection, and a Ninja Turtles-themed pizzeria. Oh, and they bought a super yacht. Now the deadly grand lottery is held all across the country.